Border czar Tom Homan. Thank you so much for being here, sir. I just want to ask directly, you met on Thursday with the New York mayor, and he announced then that he would give ICE agents access to the prison on Rikers Island. You called that a game changer. A few days before Adams made that announcement, the Justice Department instructed prosecutors to drop federal corruption charges against him. It sounds like the DOJ dropped the case against Adams, and in exchange, he let you into Rikers. Is that what happened?
No, I think that's ridiculous. Me and Mayor Adams met a couple months ago. I think it was probably eight, 9 weeks ago we met. We had the same discussion, and we talked about getting a presence in Rikers Island. We talked about how we can collaborate on public safety threats and finding the missing children that can't be found after they're released to the sponsors. And we had that a couple months ago, long before this other discussion. So I don't think it had anything to do with it. Matter of fact, the meeting was very well. It was the same meeting we had a few weeks ago. The reason we had the follow-up meeting because there's no action being done. So we follow up on how we can get some of this stuff in place, and that's what the meeting Thursday was about.
Right. I mean, you absolutely have been honest about the fact that you met with Adams before in December, I think it was. You came away from that meeting really unsatisfied. What changed between then and now other than the Department of Justice dropping the case against Adams?
No, I didn't come out of that meeting unsatisfied. I was after several weeks, I was taken back that we hadn't gotten any action on that yet about getting the Rikers Island. So we rescheduled a meeting to talk. Okay, well, we talked about what things we need to put in place, how we can make this happen. So let's get going. Let's take some steps forward, and that's what the meeting Thursday about. And we came out Thursday with a plan, and how we can get in Rikers Island in the criminal intelligence division. So we get an understanding of who's in there, who's foreign born in the Rikers Island. That's a significant public safety threat. We also talked about how we can collaborate on the missing children, many that are being in New York City, and that's what we talked about. I really don't think it had anything to do with whatever's going on in the Justice Department. We never talked about that. It's kind of out of my lane. I've been talking to the mayor for months about getting in Rikers Island, and that's what we talked about.
Yeah, and I totally understand you do not work in the Department of Justice, but you do work in the broader Trump administration. And, just as somebody who is in law enforcement, you call yourself a cop. Just looking at the series of events, sir, the fact that you didn't get what you wanted, you came away not sure why he wasn't doing what you wanted him to do, particularly with opening Rikers. The Department of Justice gets rid of the charges against him, and then poof, he agrees.
Look, the first meeting, if you look at my interview after the first meeting, I said to the whole world, I've called that mayor out for a couple of years because I didn't think he was doing the right thing as far as public safety threats. And that first meeting back in December, I said to everybody that interviewed me, for the first time I saw the cop in him. I saw the cop come out of him. He talked about how he wants public safety threats removed from New York City. He wants illegal alien crime to decrease in New York City. And there's a way we should collaborate on that. We agreed that he doesn't want to be an immigration officer. I don't want him to be an immigration officer. We agreed on that. Well, I just want him to help me with the public safety threats and leave immigration enforcement to us. So it was a great meeting. Just the actions following up that meeting were slow to happen. That's why I requested a second meeting to find out what more do we need to do to get some of this stuff in place. So I just think people are making a lot about nothing. I mean, again, I went up there as the ICE director. Now the border czar, and we collaborated on how to move illegal alien crime, decrease it down in New York City, and find the worst of the worst.